welcome to Coyote Wild Let's Discuss. I'm Taylor.
And I'm Chris.
And we're going to discuss a very interesting topic. We're going to talk about franchises and sequels. Because honestly, that kind of needs to be a discussion, especially with this previous E3, especially with, Unity getting some publicity on some things. I felt like it was very important to have this discussion. So while I'm playing audio serve, we're going to talk about this, and I am going to warn you. I will light the comments on fire with some comments I'm about to make. So let's begin, shall we? Let's talk about a particular Ubisoft comment. You had the quote for him, didn't you? Who was that, by the way?
Uh, let me Google that once again because I forgot completely.
Yeah. So while he
oh
does
god,
that,
hold on. I gotta find the link because I had it bookmarked. I thought, but okay. The quote was from a recent interview with Senior Vice President of Sales and Marketing Tony Key on A List Daily.
Mm-hmm.
Key said that last fall's Assassin's Creed 3 included the largest marketing campaign the company has ever launched, but that it doesn't feel so big anymore. Quote, the company now sets the game's campaign as a precedent and will apply the, quote, blockbuster, unquote, approach to upcoming titles Assassin's Creed 4 and Watch Dogs. When asked, Key said that the company views Watch Dogs as the foundation of a larger franchise, something that the company keeps in mind when deliberating game ideas. That's what our games are about. We won't even start if we don't think we can build a franchise out of it, unquote. He said, quote, there's no more fire and forget. It's too expensive, unquote.
And do you want to go first? Because I really want to unload on this, but I'd rather. But once I get going, I won't stop. So I think I think you should probably go first.
Yeah. Well, my opinion on it is there's games that are franchised well, and there's games that are absolutely horrible that keep cranking out sequel after sequel. If you can make a good, solid trilogy, for example, the Jack and Daxter series, shout out to Naughty Dog. They really know how to make a game. Or was Jack and Daxter Naughty Dog?
I think it was.
I'm going to Google that just so I don't look like a dumbass.
Yeah.
But anyway, Jack and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank, the original, the future trilogy were kind of meh.
Mm-hmm.
But, no, not Naughty Dog. My bad. I was thinking of Crash Bandicoot.
Who was it? I don't want to say Pandemic.
Ready at Dawn.
I don't want to say Pandemic.
Oh, wait, yeah, it was. Okay, sorry. The series was developed by Naughty Dog with a number of installments being outsourced to Ready at Dawn and High Impact Games. So, just to make sure the original trilogy I'm talking about, Jack and Daxter, Naughty Dog, Jack 2, Naughty Dog, Jack 3, Naughty Dog. Okay, so the trilogy was Naughty Dog. Granted, Jack and Daxter has a shit ton of sequels, and Ratchet and Clank has a shit ton of spin-offs, and, such and such, but it can be done well. And then there's games that go, hey, you want to play Call of Duty set in World War II? Okay, you're tired of that? How about the present day with the fictitious war with Russia? Oh, just tired of that? How about Vietnam? Okay, tired of that? How about private military corporations?
Oh.
So...
Okay, so I guess
that's what the new one's about, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Alright.
Alright, your turn, Taylor.
Okay, this is going to be fun. Alright, so there are multiple reasons why that statement makes me very, very mad. First of all, there have been plenty of games that have done amazingly well as one-shots. Ico, Shadow of the Colossus, Last of Us. What's another one? I want to say the Final Fantasy series, since they're all self-contained stories and the gameplay has changed over the years, but we won't count them. But just
13 got franchised to shit.
Yeah, except for 13 and 10 where just I didn't like them. I like 13. I did not play any of the spin-offs because one game was enough. I felt like they tied the bow on 13. I didn't. But back to my point. Games can work as, isolated stories. The indie market is proving this time and time again. The indie market, they don't have big publishers behind them to make AAA games. Games like Transistor, story about my uncle, Bastion, Super Meat Boy, Gone Home.
Which I don't know if Super Meat Boy...
yeah.
Does Super Meat Boy count as an indie game anymore? Because everybody's playing that shit.
No, it's kind of like about Bastion and Transistor. Is it an indie game anymore? Because it's really popular. And so it's aggravating to see statements like these come out from developers like, oh, we're going to make franchises. This is a franchise. I remember the Remember Me people doting on that they said that Remember Me was going to be a franchise. I don't think it did well enough.
What?
I know. Homefront 2 was shown at E3. I remember no one missing Homefront. I don't remember the big
The
outcry for a
servers are
sequel.
dead. The servers got shut down because they went like bone dry after like a
You can
month.
go on E3. Homefront 2 is a thing apparently, and that kind of scares me.
Dear Lord.
I hope I'm missing it, but I do remember how like there was Korean military, so I'm pretty sure there is a Homefront 2 coming that no one wanted. And
Yeah.
I don't get this thing for franchises. I understand. Some of my favorite games are franchises. Mass Effect 3. Love Mass Effect 3. I'm a huge Ace Combat nerd until I got to Assault Horizon and Fires of Liberation. Franchises can work. I mean, Jack and Daxter and Ratchet and Clank, Mass Effect,
Spyro.
Spyro, but BioShock it kind of falls under Final Fantasy in the fact that they're all kind of self-contained. Like BioShock Infinite is not.
This is a kind of weird opinion. I don't consider a game franchised until there's more than 3 of them.
Yeah. Well,
So like if it's a trilogy.
Well, there's more than 3 BioShocks, but kind of like how people don't talk about the new trilogy with Ratchet and Clank, we don't talk about BioShock 2.
I don't mind the new trilogy with Ratchet and Clank. In fact, Into the Nexus has 2 of my favorite guns and has really good story and amazing visuals. Winterizer for the win, by the way.
Yeah. And so I don't like how video games have gotten onto this, that we must have franchises. We must have these, constant streams of income. I mean, look at Hollywood for an example on why franchises sometimes can't work. The franchises we do get...
Transformers.
Transformers gets made fun of. I mean, for being a franchise that no one wants.
Granted, 4 was amazing. The fact that they actually gave the Autobots characterization, and the human characters weren't worthless except for Tessa.
Yeah,
that was actually humor.
Yeah. But it's franchises. Yeah, you may get a steady income, but you sacrifice so much because you can't tell the entire story in a single game. You can't tell a good beginning, middle, end story in one game because you have to worry about a trilogy. It's...
Yeah.
And it feels like the game gets weaker the more you try to franchise it. I know that's not true, but a game like Watch Dogs, you could almost smell the sequel bait for a character. And if they do make a sequel for that game, I don't want Aiden Pierce. If you like Aiden Pierce...
No, I do not. I agree.
If you like Aiden Pierce, for those watching, I'm sorry, but you need to get better taste in protagonists. I mean, seriously. Booker DeWitt go look at Booker DeWitt. Go look at Commander Shepard. Just go find someone else. Because he was so boring.
You know who... Yeah, sorry. Go ahead, and I'll finish up with my thing.
Yeah, but it's... I don't get... And I'm going to really step into a deep one. I don't believe Watch Dogs is all that deserving of a sequel.
I don't either. I agree with you.
We just probably lit the comments on fire, with that. But again...
Dude, I doubt it. Watch Dogs was very poorly received. I mean, everything from graphics to Aiden is boring to Aiden is just as bad as the people he's fighting to his niece died in that wreck because he was hacking people he shouldn't. Yeah. So by revenge, he's hacking people he shouldn't. What the fuck? You think you would learn?
Yeah. So I mean, these games are, like, for lack of a better word, aren't as... I don't feel like they're... A game has to prove to me why it should be a franchise. First of all. Why should it be a franchise? And I don't in games that are really, really good that don't deserve franchises. Again, I want to go back to old school. Eco and Shadow of the Colossus. Why do they not deserve franchises? Because they were just so wrapped up in a bow. You can't go anywhere with them. Last of Us, BioShock Infinite, direct sequels for those games, you can't really make because, again, you would be unwrapping this bow that was just so neatly done, in my opinion. So,
yeah, I agree with you.
The idea...
On Shadow of the Colossus, at least.
Yeah.
BioShock Infinite left me with so many fucking questions.
I had to Google the ending to figure out what was going on because there's a lot of context clues you could miss, apparently.
I had to Google the ending and talk to you for like 30 minutes about it.
Yeah, I know. It did require a minor in physics and like multiverse physics to get what was going on. mean, that's why I liked it, because it did require me to go out and do some research and think about it. Now, the next part of the subject, this is where I'm going to step on some toes. I am going to step on some toes. I don't think Chris will probably be okay. But I want to talk about, since we're on the thing of franchises, I want to talk about constant sequels and milking a franchise. Specifically, I really want to focus on the really big three offenders right now. Well, I mean, it should be 4. We should include Final Fantasy, but again, you don't have to play the other Final Fantasies to get it. I don't think you really have to play the other Call of Duties to get it. At Halo, you kind of do.
Can I throw in a fun little bit of gaming trivia?
Yeah.
Final Fantasy was called that because the dude thought that was going to be his last game, and then when it sold so well, and Square and Enix or SquareSoft and was it SquareSoft and Enix merged together?
It was something else, and well, no, I think it was SquareSoft. I think.
SquareSoft
and then something bought it, and it became Square Enix.
Yeah, I thought it was a merger or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, the guy honestly thought that was going to be his last game with the company, so he called it Final Fantasy.
And it ended up saying.
Don't know why they.
So, go figure.
Yeah.
But games.
Well, I don't think the Square Enix merger happened until around 10 or 11-ish. Because 9 was when I booted up 9, my favorite Final Fantasy represent. It just said SquareSoft, so yeah. I think the dude just honestly thought he was gonna get fired, and then Final Fantasy did so well, so he's like, oh shit, look at that.
So, but back to my point. I am very, I'm sick of sequels. I mean, this is kind of the entirety of this argument. And this is kind of why I've kind of turned into a video game hipster and gone to the indie market, is because there are not a lot of sequels in the indie market. There's hardly any. You know, you're not seeing Bastion 2. You're not seeing A Tale of Two Sons 2, which would be kind of a weird title. I'm pretty sure they'd work something different out. A Tale of Two Other Sons? I don't know. But,
A Tale of Three Sons.
Ooh, there we go. Sequel right there. Hey.
Spoiler alert, there's not 3 sons, just 2.
Whoa. But I'm so sequeled out. I'm really, and I've told Chris this before, and we've had debates on this before, but I'm more willing to give slack to a new IP than I am an original IP. Because one...
I'm starting to get on that wagon a little bit.
Because one, the reason I have such huge Call of Duty fatigue is because, yes, you do make a good game every year. But honestly, at this point, I hope you can, because you've been at it for so goddamn long.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of with Halo. I mean, I right about ODST or Halo Wars, I started feeling bad for Bungie, because you could start telling that they were really getting sick of this. Like, they were running out of ideas. They didn't want to make this game anymore. And I honestly...
Well, I mean, another fun gaming fact, Halo Wars is actually closer to the original concept of Halo than any of the Halos have been so far. Yeah. Halo Combat Evolved was originally supposed to be a real-time strategy. The hardware at the time wouldn't allow it.
Yeah. And no one really liked Halo Wars.
Or some shit like that.
Yeah. But, again...
Halo Wars was incredibly weak.
I'm Halo'd out.
I think if Halo 1 was like... I think if Halo 1 was like Halo Wars, like it was originally supposed to be, really don't think it would have taken off as a franchise. Yeah. No offense.
Yeah, I mean...
And then ODST was good. I liked what it did. It showed what was going on Earth.
It was
Well, it was showing what was going on Earth during Halo 2. Like, while Master Chief's up on that space station and the Covenant are invading Earth, it shows you, Master Chief can't be everywhere. Reach was good. It showed us what happened to the last of the Spartan 2s.
Yeah, but
that was an integral part of the Halo story. I mean, all the games have added to the story.
Yeah.
They have all added to the universe of Halo.
But again, it's
I give Halo slack for that.
Yeah. But I don't, because, again, I'm not as big of a Halo fan. I liked Halo 2. I really, really liked Halo 3, because there's a lot of good memories with the multiplayer on it. But,
best Halo, in my opinion.
But, again, you could really... It was a little bit after Halo Wars and ODST, and you could see it a bit in Reach, which you could tell Bungie was getting sick of making this game. There was just something... in the way the gameplay was, like, I guess a little, like you noticed the improvements were starting to curtail a little bit. You could tell someone somewhere was getting sick.
I thought the writing and the voice acting.
Well, the writing and the voice acting.
We didn't have to worry about. Yeah. We don't really have to worry about Bungie anymore, though. Now they made
Yeah,
what was it, Destiny,
yeah. But again, I
right?
felt yeah, but I felt bad for them because if you sat there for almost a decade, more than a decade, I think
And you were only known for one game series. Yeah, yeah, I'd get kind of pissed.
yeah, and then you have someone like Microsoft sitting behind you going, no, you're making Halo. Yeah, you want to make this other cool IP, but I don't care. You're making Halo. That's our money That's our money basket. If you still want your dream job as an animator or a video game designer or as a Q&A person, you're gonna make another Halo. And as an artist, like I do some art, I do some writing, and I do some drawing. And as an artist, I can somewhat understand that after a certain point, you would get utterly sick of that because you're drawing the exact same thing over and over and over again, just a little bit better than last time. You're just stuck there in this infinite void. And that's why I think people in general can make so much fun of Call of Duty because, again, we have, what, 10 of them? You know,
I mean, it wasn't always that
Modern
way.
Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 2, Ghost, we're going to get advanced. Warfighter, we're gonna get World at War was
Dude,
one.
speaking of Advanced Warfare, dude, there was this meme going around that the next Call of Duty would be like Call of Duty 2033 Advanced Warfare.
And the new title's
Dude,
Advanced Warfare. Yeah, but I'm so
yeah,
sick
it's
of it.
great.
This is what really disappointed me about E3 is that we got excited about a new Halo game. We used to
Hey,
make
dude.
jokes back in the old days about that. That was a joke that we would
Hey,
get excited about Halo 5. And we're
the
going to
Spartan 2s are back.
okay, I like back when G4 Tech TV was a thing, we made fun of the fact that there was gonna be like multiple Call of Duty. Like, oh, they're not really gonna do that. They're gonna come up with something new. They're gonna be innovative. Apparently, our jokes were a little too true to be funny anymore, because it's just so fatigue. It's just so much fatigue on these series. It may just be me, but again, and then Assassin's Creed.
I mean, I'm with you. I'm with you on everything except Halo because every Halo game has added something to the lore,
It's added
and
something.
Halo
What
5 is
about
gonna bring.
gameplay wise? What about gameplay? Because if I remember correctly, from Halo 3 to Halo Reach, and a little bit of ODST. Well, I shouldn't count ODST because they released all of the Halo map packs for everyone to play, which I thought that was a cool move. That was a cool move on Bungie's part.
To be fair, ODST did stuff completely differently. You weren't some amazing super soldier, godless killing machine.
Yeah.
Halo Wars tried to mix up the franchise. Every time they tried something new, everybody hated it. So to be fair,
Yeah,
yeah, they are first-person
and
shooters, but every game does add something. I mean, Halo 2 had dual wielding.
mhm.
Halo 3 had all the like the over shield, the active camo, shit like that. I mean,
Yeah, and
that might
here's
have been in the other
see, and
ones.
I
It's been a
like those.
while.
Those were cool. Those were cool new
You know,
additions.
Reach added all the armor abilities to your armor in multiplayer. 4 added even more armor abilities. You've always had the skulls. It's always been interesting to me, anyway.
Well,
And
but to
with
me, as
5
someone,
making with, yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
but
I'm
some,
just excited for 5 because of the Spartan 2s.
yeah.
The fact that like Fred 104 and people like that are going to be in it because I was so sick of the you're the last of your kind trope. I mean when Halo came out, when Combat Evolved came out, it wasn't really necessarily a trope. The endling thing wasn't really a thing. But now that it is, it's just so tiring. You're the last of your kind. You're the last of your kind. You're the last of your kind. It's
But
just
again,
now we know we've known in the books and the
I mean, this
comics and
is
everything that there are more Spartan 2s out there, and now they're back in action. They're back in the spotlight, from what I understand, anyway.
But it's
Yeah,
cool. I mean, it's cool they're adding to the story, and if you think about it, Black Ops and Black Ops 2 had cool stories. No one ever played them
yeah,
except me. But again,
I played them.
it's just from someone that that wants more. That isn't necessarily. I don't get. It's very hard for me to become a fan. The only reason I ever really became a fan of the Mass Effect series was because again, it had a cool story. I could get into it. It had cool gameplay, it had cool RPG mechanics, and then I became a fan from there. Ace Combat 5 was one of the only really good arcade flight games out there. But and some and this is gonna be a later part of the argument, but I'm just so sick of Halo. I'm sick of having to like when I'm reading through my E3 news, I don't give a flying flip about Halo. Honestly, Halo can go to the wayside. You can go to the
But the
annuals of
Master
Game
Chief
Effect.
Ultimate Collection.
And that's cool. That's a cool nostalgia thing. But again, I don't care. It's just so I get it. Halo and Call of Duty were the first big games to really make multiplayer a big aspect of gaming. But
I would argue Unreal,
well,
Doom, and Quake did that before that, but
Unreal.
still.
But you know what I mean. They're just they really brought it to the
Yeah.
forefront.
Yeah, they were the first. They were the innovators.
Yeah, and so. But my issue
To me,
is I'm sick
yeah.
of them. I'm tired of them. I want something new. It's the fact that I have
To
to
me,
sit through.
Halo was Smitty Werberman Jensen. He was number one, Taylor.
He was number one. But it's just so repetitive, and well, not repetitive. I shouldn't use that word. That's a bad word. I'm tired of them. I'm tired of us being excited about Halo 5. It was supposed to be done at 3. We got prequels afterwards, which was fine. We got Halo Wars and some side stuff. That's okay.
I'm glad they're expanding the lore. To me, Master Chief's story and the story of Halo has always been just one of the most interesting video game stories that I've ever had. And maybe it's because I spend like an hour and a half of my time playing video games a day.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, I've always been fascinated by the Spartan 2 program, and now that they're coming back, I can't say for sure I know they're coming back, but I have seen Master Chief with Fred 104 and Kurt and all them. So I don't know if it's going to be a prequel or a sequel, because Kurt's dead. Spoilers.
Yeah.
I mean, so I don't know. I'm glad to see the Spartans 2 back. You know, they tried the Spartan 3s in Reach. They tried the Spartan 4s in Halo 4. Dude, I want the original badasses.
That's cool, but again, as someone, I mean, there's some people that don't even care about the story. They just care about multiplayer. And when you look at that again, it's been the same. It's really been the same thing since 3. I mean, yes, they've added these little things. And honestly, Call of Duty is a bigger offender. I can really get on a rampage with Call of Duty because, and to be fair, and to be on both sides, every game they've made has been really good. I mean, if you took off their Halo paint or you took off their Call of Duty paint, they are really good games with really good multiplayer, strong mechanics, but it's kind of like Pokemon. You've done so many at this point, it's inexcusable for you to get it wrong. You have so many iterations, so many attempts. At this point, you don't have the excuse to get it wrong. I mean, if you were trying out a new mechanic, yeah, you can get that new mechanic wrong, but God forbid if you mess up the shooting mechanic, if you mess up, the controls, how can you? I mean, you have over 10 games of experience and, backlogs and research and data to show you what works and what doesn't. It's, at this point, really, Call of Duty does not have the excuse to be even bad. It's just the argument on that, oh, they're all good games. Yeah, because like Pokemon, they've had over a decade to get it right. Maybe not over a decade for Call of Duty.
Hey. In Pokemon, Black, White, Black 2, and White 2 sucked.
And that almost killed it for me. But Pokemon X
and
Y.
It did, and then 6 came out. X and Y came out, and I was like, diagonal movement, hats, character customization. Only 70 Pokemon. Benches!
But see, honestly, Pokemon fans were kind of like Apple fanboys. We get excited when they mention sitting as a feature. So that's
oh my god, you can sit on a bench!
I know, that shows my hypocrisy. I love Pokemon. But again,
I do too. Admittedly, I thought I was too old for it when Black and White came in, because I was like, I don't like these Pokemon designs. I don't like these designs. Ooh, a PETA story, yay. Oh, surprise, the dude doesn't actually care that people are oppressing Pokemon and wants Pokemon all for himself so he can kill everybody. Woo. Oh, look, his son is against that. He's like some hippie fairy Jesus. And look, he even has the Jesus allegory. Here comes the white fluffy dragon. I am Rushram, the dragon fire
See, I don't like those legendaries. Those are actually cool legendaries. I like them over Pearl and Diamond's legendaries. I didn't like those legendaries.
Dude, Palkia's head looks like a penis.
I'm not the only one that thought that. Yes.
Anyway, back on topic, I suppose. I mean, Pokemon technically is on. Technically, Pokemon is a franchise. It's been around since what, 1997. Yeah. I mean, there's video games, there's plushies, there's cards. Really, we could do an entire Let's Discuss on Pokemon.
Yeah.
You know what it'll end up as though? But we don't care. We love it. Yay!
Yeah, because it speaks to the inner kid in all of us. I have Pokemon at Y, so I'm showing my hypocrisy. But
Why,
again,
Taylor?
but this is kind of the final topic.
Aw.
This is kind of the bonus third topic. Again, so we've ranted all about franchises, sequels, how I am getting fatigued of Halo, and I'm probably the only one. But whose fault is it that we have this? I call it sequel phobia. I mean, not sequel phobia. I call it original phobia. Is the best
Sequelitis.
sequelitis. Just constant.
Thank you, Aaron Hansen.
Yeah.
Ego
Yeah.
Raptor.
Yeah. And so it's who's to blame?
I
for
think
this?
that's his name.
We can blame the publishers all we want, and we can blame the developers. But at the end of the day, it's really our fault. Like as consumers, we spoke with our wallets, and 5 Halos later, over 10 Call of Duties, and all their crappy spin-offs later, here we are. We have now.
But Taylor, the Spartan 2s.
Yeah, but I mean, it's our fault, essentially. Not even essentially. It is our fault, period. Because at the end of the day, we're the ones that went out and bought the new Call of Duties. You know, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I bought Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, traded it in though. And
I got Modern Warfare as like a birthday present, and then for Christmas I got Modern Warfare 2, the collector's edition that came with the goggles.
yeah.
And then the last one I willingly bought was Black Ops for like $1 at GameStop.
I bought
So-
Black Ops. I rented Black Ops 2. I think after that I started renting them, and I used to buy the Call of Duty. I used to buy Call of Duty Big Red 1. I used to buy
Oh my god, dude. Oh,
I
Big Red
really
1.
just did
Finest
myself.
Hour. Yeah, Big Red 1, Finest Hour. Holy
Yeah.
crap. I love those games.
There was a Medal of Honor. It was right before we went to the 360 and PS3. It was a very good Medal of Honor where you got to go from Germany to Africa to Italy. You know, you got to.
Is that Frontline?
I want to say it's Frontline. I'm not sure, but it was one of the last good Medal of Honors, because then there was Vanguard. It was Vanguard, Medal of Honor Vanguard, which let you be a paratrooper, and that wasn't really good.
Yeah, well, Frontline was for the PlayStation 2, Xbox, GameCube, and PSN, so this might be it. It was released in 2002, and I think
That's it, because it was
God,
right
I
about
think
the
the
time.
the 360 came out about 2006.
Yeah, it was about that time, because I remember Ace Combat Zero was right, and I
Yeah.
was playing that just alongside.
Yeah. There's also Medal of Honor Rising Sun, which is in that area.
That was a
Medal
good
of Honor
one. That
Infiltrator.
was a good one. That may be nostalgia talking too.
Okay. And then modern era, there's Medal of Honor 2010 and Warfighter. You might be thinking of, let's see, there's Pacific Assault, European Assault, Heroes, Vanguard, Airborne, and Heroes 2, which is the World War II era.
Yeah, it was.
No,
the one-
Vanguard was PS2 and Wii. I don't know. You might be thinking of Frontline. I'm thinking you're thinking Frontline.
Yeah, I'm thinking Frontline, but it was
Yeah.
again, and then they haven't get on Battlefield. I mean, Hardline itself is pretty much the epitome of what I'm talking about here. That they are running out of ideas because of franchising things. That they have gone to Payday, the $60 mod for Battlefield. That's just. It's
And
just.
look on the bright side, dude. Rockstar didn't put cops and crooks and heists into their game, so good guy Battlefield decided, hey, guess what? We're gonna put both of those, smash them into one, and put it in our game. Up yours, Rockstar.
And that's what's so funny.
If that's the way I can, if that's the way I can play those classic games, I'll do it. I'll do it.
So, but again, it's our fault. I mean, at the end of the day, Homefront, well, except for
You
Homefront
bastards.
2. You us we bastards. I'm not sure who I'm supposed to point my finger at this current moment. But again, it is our fault. It is our fault that, you know, except for Homefront 2. Honestly, I am not sure who on what
Who
forum
thought that was a good idea?
who on what forum was saying, I want Homefront 2. Because no one wanted that game. I mean, it was an okay game, but no one... I don't remember people begging for a sequel on that one. I really don't. I mean... I cannot think of a community that was... Maybe 4chan. That explains it. I think 4chan was trolling someone at E3. Or someone... Whoever was developing Homefront, 4chan, like, dude, know what we should do? We should just absolutely screw with the developer, make them waste money, and have them develop Homefront 2. Isn't that evil? Yes. Let's go for it.
Yeah.
That does sound...
Dude, what if... Yeah. What if, man? What if we totally realize, ugh, crap. Um, like Valve is behind Homefront 2, and they're like, okay, Gavin, we can release Homefront 2 or Half-Life 3. I've had enough of the internet jokes. Go with Homefront 2. Yes, sir. When will Half-Life 3 be released?
Never. You know, and then there's that a bit fun argument. The sequels we do want. How long have we been asking for a Beyond Good and Evil 2? Like how
Didn't
long?
that just come out?
I don't think we got a Beyond Good and Evil 2. If that just
Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Beyond Two Souls. Yeah, Beyond Good and Evil. I would love a sequel to Beyond Good and Evil.
everyone
You know what I would like? A next-gen Spyro game to not suck. Anyone? Anyone?
or not for him to appear
Yeah.
on what was that? Skylanders. I'd like for him to be in a game that doesn't make me feel childish when I play it. Even though I like playing Skylanders. Skylanders is fun. That's a guilty pleasure of mine. By the
Yeah.
way.
It is a guilty pleasure of mine. I described it to my friend as like Spyro with Pokemon.
Like Spyro Pokemon.
You have to buy all the figures. Crack is cheaper.
It's cheaper. Again, people wonder why Pokemon fans aren't addicted to drugs. As honestly, we would, but unfortunately, Pokemon's too damn expensive.
Could you imagine instead of like blue meth, you have like, Pika blue meth?
Oh my god. Meth for Pokemon fans. Oh my god. But again, it really, at the end of the day, to provide our South Park moral lesson, it's really our fault that this environment has come up, that we do have sequels. And you know, if you love all the sequels, you love the fact that you constantly get your favorite games over and over and over again and nothing else, then fine.
Good for you.
And
We
good
love
for
you. We love you.
But for those that want some variety,
Let's take it to Kickstarter. We're not gonna take it.
I'm kind of with Ben Croshaw on Kickstarter. He and I share the kind of the exact same sentiment that Kickstarter is just kind of the nostalgia factory.
Did you just call him Ben?
Yahtzee, fine.
Oh my god, Taylor. Slap the man in the face, why don't you?
Well, I'm trying to show him respect by giving him his real name. Ben Croshaw, also known
He
as
hates his real
Yahtzee.
name.
Oh, I'm sorry. I am so
Ben-
sorry.
Ben Godzilla Croshaw. Seriously.
I'm sorry,
That's his middle
Mr.
name.
Croshaw. I mean, Mr. Yahtzee. Don't sue us or do a zero punctuation on our channel. Actually, do a zero punctuation on our channel. I would actually enjoy that. No matter how badly he.
And here you
insults
have two idiots just faffing around with random games that they don't know anything about. Shit, I paused. That's bad. Sorry.
The gate engine is inseparable, and I also noticed that Taylor is also horribly dressed. He doesn't have a fedora or a goatee, which automatically discredits everything he does.
I, in fact, do have a goatee, Mr. Croshaw. Love me.
This went weird so fast. But again, back to the moral lesson.
Sorry.
Back to the moral lesson. Again,
Yes.
for those that love their sequels, you know, I understand you get the games you are comfortable with, you enjoy over and over and over again. But for the rest of us, we want something new. This is why the indie market has become a thing, because we're slowly starting to talk with our wallets. We're getting sick of Assassin's Creed. We're getting really sick of Call of Duty. I mean, I'm sorry. Just...
You said duty.
Nah, I said duty. Booby trap. Haha, I said trap. But again, you know, if as a fan, if you're watching this of video games, you know, instead of buying that sequel, you know, will probably at the minimum be okay. Take a risk on that new IP. I mean, take a risk on that indie game you don't think you would like normally. Just or at least give it a try. You know, watch a review or a let's play. Our let's plays. So, shameless self-promotion.
Oh, wow. Shameless. Oh, beat me to it.
I know. You know, just not even ours. Go watch the other millions of people out there that are doing let's play videos. Just take a chance on the game.
Watch the people that inspired us that we're blatantly ripping off some point until we find our own niche.
Exactly. So I mean, it's up to. By the way, I have the vote that we call you our fan base, the YouTubians. Chris does not like that.
I thought I could call you the Teletubbies.
The Teletubbies. I mean,
But
vote in the comments what you want to be called. The YouTubians or the Teletubbies. It's totally up to you. But again, you know,
Yep.
really talk with your wallet. What do you... You don't have to buy that Call of Duty. but that developer with the new IP could really use your support. So again, this has been Coyote
Yes.
Wild. I'm Taylor.
And I'm Chris. Stay tuned next time for Let's Discuss Radio 102 FM, Columbia. Hey guys, it's Chris here, and I think you should subscribe. I mean, the dinosaurs didn't watch our videos, and look what happened to them.